Fáilte, uicha hamna, darklings. I hope your pumpkins are carved and your cauldrons are stirred, because the spooky season is upon us. And ghouls, do I have a freak show for you. With the Halloween season upon us, my fellow creatures of the night, on this channel we plan to celebrate. So join me, darklings, as we creep on into our first ever Spooktober. Tonight, I'm going to teach you how to play the Halloween game. But take heed of my words. Think very carefully on whether you truly wish to play this game, as this is no mere child's play. You will not be playing hide and seek with a mere demon till the clock strikes 3:33 a.m. Nor will you be granted a wish by a spiteful djinn. No, during this game, you will summon Death himself and pray ask him to relinquish a soul of the recently deceased. This is no small request, and therefore requires no small effort to achieve. If you truly wish to play this game with death, then you will need to be prepared for the harsh trials that lay ahead. Still want to play? Very well, but you have been warned. Step 1. On the night of All Hallows Eve, as the hours slowly tick by, creeping close to midnight with every agonizing second, you must carve a jack-o'-lantern. You may have heard of the legend of Stingy Jack, the man who tricked the devil and was cast out by God for such dealings, left to roam the earth as a lost soul for eternity, with naught but a burning coal to light his way, which he placed in a hollowed-out neep. In the Celtic lands of Ireland and Scotland, it became tradition to carve frightening faces into these lanterns to light the way but keep away old Stingy Jack. If you play this game correctly, you will meet him tonight. Step 2. Place a photograph of your recently deceased loved one that you wish to call back from the grave. This must be the first Halloween since their death, and you must hold within your palm a lock of their hair taken from them before or after death. You will need this later. Place a single wicked candle upon the photograph, and when and only when you are prepared, light the wick and speak your loved one's name. You must guard this fearfully flickering flame with your life, as if it is extinguished. So is the game, and the stakes are much higher than a simple bet already. Step 3. Proceed to the nearest cemetery gates and steel yourself as you walk forward, not stopping until you reach the very centre of this graveyard. A fog will have gathered upon the gentle winds of the night, and you will no longer see the world outside the cemetery gates. Step 4. Now you must make a choice, for this is your crossroads, and should you choose wrong, then you will wander this graveyard for eternity, forever seeking the correct direction, yet never finding it. As you stand in the centre of your chosen cemetery, you must decide in which direction you will travel forth. As you walk, one foot in front of the other foot, Look straight ahead and nowhere else. If you hear footsteps behind you on this Halloween night, do not turn around, for it is the dead that follow you now. If you make the mistake of turning around, you may very well end up joining them. You will hear wailing and cries of the damned all around you, but I urge you, do not be tempted from your path. It is the last mistake you shall ever make. Step 5. You will know if you have chosen correctly in your path soon enough, as Stingy Jack himself, who leads these lost souls of those who lost their game, will appear before you, lit only by the glow of the jack-o'-lantern, and usher you towards a lone tombstone, a stone that does not belong, nor have any name carved upon it. This lonely headstone you see is only here upon Halloween. The sight of it will make you feel a cold and unwelcome emptiness within your soul, and you will have a longing to turn away, but you must go to it. This is where Stingy Jack will leave you. You must make sure he has not tricked you and stolen your lock of hair. Hold it close as you sit in front of the grave and place your jack-o'-lantern upon the unsettled dirt. Step 6. If you have made it this far, do not relax now, because it does not become easier and the hard part is far from over. But there is no turning back now, as you are now in between worlds, dancing along the veil of the living and the dead. You must wait, alone in the dark, and ignore the calls of the dead, even if they are from your loved one who is now behind you, entranced by the light of the lantern that their image lays inside of. Finally, in the fast approaching minutes before midnight, you must begin the last stage, the ritual. I hope your candle's wick is still lit, because if it goes out, you will be trapped with the lost spirits of the damned infinitely. Step 7. Place the lock of hair upon the candle's flame and repeat the following to summon death himself. Come break these mortal chains, cast forth eternal pains. I seek thee now of my free will. Ask of me this, for that I would kill. Out from your shadow I beg thee come, and I will bleed till thy be done. I summon you, horsemen, please heed my call, for you have the power to grant this and all. As you chant, take a blade and slit open your palm and allow the drops of crimson blood to pour from your wound over the candle you have guarded so carefully. Allow the hot trickling of blood steaming in the crisp, cold and bitter air to finally extinguish the light that has guided you and the soul you seek here to this spot at this moment. And with a mighty heave, you must cry into the darkest pitch night surrounding you, I summon you, death. I summon you, death. I summon you, death. As the clock strikes midnight, he shall appear before you. He is the opposite of light and form, a darkened void of endless suffering and stinking pestilence. He is the true plague within the open sores of creation, showing you glimpses of ecstasy that only ever existed to fall from. Oh, and how he would devour that fall. leaving you no more than a writhing puddle of pain as piss in an alley gutter, crying out for death as he licks his lips and sucks his fingers clean of everything you once were.
I know what you seek, child, for I alone may peer into the hearts of men and find unbridled truth.
He shall croon to you from above in a voice both alluring and terrifying. You will feel it deep in your bones, and you will know when he is done appraising you and wishes you to move on to the next step. Step 8. Place your hand that still weeps scarlet tears deep within the belly of the earth amidst the mound of dirt before you. Death will now ask you to solve a simple riddle. The only known account is not specific, as it came from a man driven mad by the visage of the presence you will now sit before. But the pieces extracted from his insanity are as follows.
I am not yours, but you are mine. You feel clean, but it is I who wears your filth. You shall act, and I shall be punished. I shall follow you blindly, but you shall remain blind to me. You are one of countless millions, yet I am unique. What am I?
The answer to this riddle has never been derived, though I welcome your efforts. They will mean little should you choose to play the Halloween game, for death will never utter the same thought twice. Whether you answer right or wrong, you will feel a hand from below grasp your own, still slick with your bodily fluid. If you have answered correctly, you may pull the arm free of the earth, and from within your loved one will crawl. However, if you have answered incorrectly, that hand shall pull you down into the bowels of earth and beyond. You shall be dragged to hell and suffer unimaginable tortures for all eternity. Either way, death shall be gone, leaving only a malice chuckle upon the breeze, no longer frigid with cold. If you are still alive, you have won the Halloween game, and you may return home through the cemetery gates that now reveal the world before you once more. I wish you luck if you choose to play, and say hello to Stingy Jack for me. He still owes me a coin for a drink long ago taken. Thanks for joining me for tonight's tale, Darklings. I am GoblinPrincessKyo, and if you enjoyed our encounter, then subscribe for more accounts and tales from the darker side of life. Ah, the broom fell. Company is coming. Sweet dreams. Meet you back at midnight.